All right, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for clicking into this video. We have one of our amazing clients, Brandon. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on this call with me, Brandon. If you want to take a quick second to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brandon Ashby. I run a brokerage in Utah County, Utah, and it's called Look Ahead Real Estate. And well, I got some leads with Hamza, and I got some interest in what they had to offer, and I've been able to test it out and just been really happy with it.
Sweet. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you kind of getting into that. So before we get into the fun stuff, I would love to ask, like, we've been working together for about 4 weeks in, and we've seen great results. In the beginning, if you were to kind of go backwards, what was it about us or our team or our company or our offer that made you want to take a shot with us in the first place?
Well, first of all, I think I initially connected with you through some emails, and that it just struck an interest that I had been doing ads with other sources. I've been doing, my company's been doing ads with well, other sources, we'll leave it at that. And I haven't been happy with the results getting more and more expensive for less and less results. And so I've pulled out of most of that. And when I heard about what you had to offer, it was really a matter of, hey, I'd like to, if the cost per lead is good, which it sounded like it would be, and if the leads are actually people that are interested, then it's something I'd like to try out. So I scheduled an appointment. We talked. That was when you and I talked the first time. And in that conversation, you alleviated all of my concerns. I liked the cost per lead. I liked the fact that the people were going to not necessarily be ready to sell immediately, but that they knew what they were getting into. They knew that they were going to be talking to a realtor and talking about potentially selling their house. And those are some of the hardest parts to overcome up front. So getting a lead that's willing to do that, then I get to take over at that point and nurture the lead as needed and move forward with them. So having a long answer to your question, but those are the things that intrigued me. And then once I saw how your program worked, it was enough for me to give it a try.
Thank you, sir. And I'm glad you responded to that email and we're well on our journey. So I appreciate that. So let's get into the fun part. So I think, we're about 4 weeks in. We're ramping up for our second month. In the first month, we've sent over about 21 to 26 seller appointments, I believe. So from these appointments, could you kind of like give us a run through of like how many in-person appointments have you scheduled?
So actual in-person appointments, I've only been able to get into 3.
Nice.
Uh, but over the phone, I've been able to talk with most of them. I've had maybe of all of those appointments, I think I've had 4 of them that just didn't show up, and they just went kind of dead in the water. I of course keep trying to follow up with people as we always do, but that's normal. That's just normal for the business. Some people are just not going to show up, but that leaves a whole bunch of other people that were willing to have a good dialogue. I've created some friendships. I picked up some buyers. I picked up
Nice.
two investors, people that have other properties that are always looking to invest. I picked up 2 new investors, and then I've also picked up a lot of potential business. So if you try to break it down, those 3 appointments where I got to actually go in person, I got one of them listed, the
Nice.
$1.1 million property. I got that one listed yesterday. And I have another one that we have buyers lined up for it. They're working out some kinks right now, but we'll either have it sold or on the market by the end of next week. But most likely we're going to sell it off market before anything happens. And then I have another one that's at 650,000 that we're just finished yesterday, all the repairs, and we're listing it this week. So
Wow.
there's some pretty good results for just the first month.
Awesome. And I always say this, it takes 2 to tango. So huge props to you. I mean, we can do our best to tee up the appointments, but it takes a killer like you in the field to get the job done. So huge props to you. So just to clarify, so you already have one listed at what price point did you say?
At one point, it's just over 1.2 million.
Nice, nice.
So,
And the second one, yeah, go ahead.
and that's the interesting thing. These leads are across the gamut. They go from low end to high end, so you can kind of work the entire market. Uh, the next one that is being listed this week, we just finished. Not we. It was actually one of my contractors I recommended.
Nice.
Finished the repairs yesterday, and that's ready to go on market now. So we're listing that this week, and then that one's 650,000, and then the third one is 250,000. So, and the nice thing about that one's of course we can put it on the market, but we probably won't because we have buyers already lined up off market for that one. Yeah, and it's obviously at that price in Utah, that's a very low price in our area. But at that price, it needs some help. And so we have the people lined up to take over.
Got it, got it. And that also goes to show like having an investor network in your back pocket really does help. So it sounds as if we've covered like the entire spectrum, 200,000 all the way up to 1.2 mil. And again, congratulations on kind of like getting those in your pocket and working those. Huge congrats. So next question I have for you is like, compared to what you were doing before and what you're experiencing now working with us in regards to seller lead generation or appointment generation, how would you say it's different in regards to volume or quantity?
Um, I would say quantity is kind of what I expected, what I was hoping for. Quantity, I'm right where I would have wanted to be and what I expected. The quality was my biggest concern, and the quality, if you can pick up three buyers, or excuse me, three sellers, three new customers in a month, that's fantastic. However, I'm just talking about the success rate right at this moment,
Right.
where we are still nurturing the rest of them. Some of them we've thrown, just, I would say some of them have said we're just absolutely not interested, and so we put them in long term and we'll follow up with them. We made some friends, we didn't hurt any feelings, and we'll just keep them in the long term hopper. And then but then the rest of them, we have them on a more short term basis, and we could be turning still more than just these three. We can still be turning a couple more from what we have already over the next month or two. So that's probably where I was most surprised, is the quality. Really, people were ready. They were primed to actually have a dialogue with me regarding selling the house, or selling a house in some way, whether that's listing or somebody coming in with an investor offer or whatever. The people were ready to have dialogue with me, and that's where I think these leads really are much better than other people's, because the other leads that I've worked in the past, they're just not, they're not primed. They're not ready to actually have the dialogue on, yes, I may be ready to sell my house right now.
Got it. Got it. And this is music to my ears. So I really do appreciate that. And again, like huge props to you for like getting the job done on that. And we'll continue keep the like teeing these up for you. So one of the last few questions I have is, from a operation standpoint and support standpoint, how has your overall experience been, like, working with the CataLeads family and CataLeads team and myself? Like, how has your experience been?
My experience has been great. I mean, first of all, our first conversation, you took the time to actually talk me through exactly how the program worked, what to expect, just all of the details. And then once we set that up, my first concern was, hey, I'm too busy right now. I can't jump in till later. You set it up at the time frame that I was ready for it, and you've been really catered to my needs up front. Since then, I haven't really had a whole lot of conversation with anybody else but you. But I've sent feedback, and when I've sent feedback, I've always received responses if there was a response needed. And then I've also had access, when I've had questions, I've actually contacted you personally, and you've been right there for me. So and when I have had feedback or suggestions, you've been very open to that as well. So where that's concerned, I would just say I couldn't expect anything better. I kind of expected to just get handed off, and I've been very happy with the fact that I can actually work with you and work with other people and have my voice be heard if something was needed. Having said all of that, I haven't really needed help. So
And that's a
um,
good thing.
yeah, it is a great thing because what it means is you guys are doing great. But when I did need a little bit of clarification, you were there for me, and that was good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And that as well is a testament to your ability to get the job done. So I really appreciate the kind words. And to kind of wrap things up, one of the purposes of this video that we're recording is to kind of one of our company missions is to, elevate and scale the impact that we're having on agents and allow them to use the business of real estate to, lead with service and lead with value to other people. So to any other brokers or team leaders that might be watching this and that are kind of on the fence about working with us or taking a shot with us, what would you say to them?
First, stay out of Utah County. That's mine. No, I'm kidding. But what would I say to them? I would say give it a shot, and if it's not working for you, then do some training, and adapt your method a little bit, because the leads that I've been getting have been really good leads, and it's just a matter of having being prepared for those conversations when you actually call them up, and being prepared to actually have a good dialogue with them, and then um, give them some free information that will really help them out in the current market. Know what the market is doing right now. Give them some information that really builds a relationship of trust, and then set up the appointment to go see them in person and close the deal. So um, that's and some people just aren't ready, and that's why it's a longer term for some people. But the ones that are ready, come on, I've done 1 month and I already have 3 people. So we're that's pretty good success. So I would just say give it a shot because it works. One, two, be ready for your calls. Do a little bit of research. Every one of these leads, when they run the gambit from entry level all the way up to high end, you're you're having a different conversation with all these people. So you need to be ready for that conversation, know what the market's doing in their territory, in their price range, and just be ready. And if you can be ready, you're going to have a lot more success. But the lead quality for me, the lead quality is the very most important thing, because I always do the other things to be ready for calls. So this is where CataLeads is really shining, is just giving me people that are ready to have a really good dialogue.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for everything that you've mentioned. And you're crushing it, Brandon. Everyone watching this video, you heard the man. One, stay out of Utah County, and also be prepared to put the work in, because it takes two to tango. So appreciate you again, Brandon. Thank you again for everything. And it's genuinely speaking, it's an honor to be partnered up with you. And I'm
You as
ready to
well.
do some more damage with you in Utah County. So thank you again, Brandon.
Excellent. Thank you, Hamza. We'll just keep having fun moving forward.
Yes, sir.